Any guesses on what WOW stands for?
Wow.
Words of wisdom.
Word of the year.
Wonders of the world.
Never mind. We'll take a look at this as we go on. So that's the title of my speech.
Wow.
Wow.
So today I am going to speak on an issue which has bedfilled the lives of Bangaloreans for more than 2 years. Yes, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I am going to speak on the raging garbage crisis in Bangalore, and specifically what we as a community have done to address that. To tackle this, we kick-started a project which we christened as WOW more than 2 years back. Our vision was simple: to be a zero-waste community. And the motivation behind that? Again, quite simple. To be the change we wanted to see all around us. While it was very easy for us to criticize BBMP and others, it was not really leading to anywhere. So we finally decided to bite the bullet and do something about this issue. Project WOW has 3 phases. Phase 1, education and segregation. Phase 2, collection and disposal. Phase 3, composting. We started off phase 1 by educating the residents about the importance of segregating the dry waste at source in their households. For the success of the entire project, this was by far the most critical phase, as all the succeeding phases would, this would feed into all the succeeding phases. Each residence was given 3 gunny bags to collect and store the dry waste. Like this. One for paper, one for plastic, one for glass and metal. Throughout the week, the residents would segregate their dry waste and store them in these bags. Everything else would go into their regular daily wet garbage. But before disposing of anything in the wet garbage, the residents had to ask themselves just one question: does this belong to the 3 categories I just mentioned? We faced 2 major challenges in this phase. Initially, there was widespread confusion about what constituted dry waste, what went into your regular daily garbage, and what not. There was even confusion regarding each of the 3 bags and what went into there. To mitigate this, we formed teams of volunteers who went door to door, articulating the entire process and educating the residents. The other issue we faced was about the adherence to the process. While in the initial months, there was lots of enthusiasm, but over time, the interest levels waned. Again, various innovative one-on-one persuasion techniques were employed, and a lot of our personal time was invested. After about 6 months, the tide finally turned. We started getting higher and higher levels of community participation. Today, after more than 2 years in this journey, I'm proud to say that we have more than 90% community participation in this. Let's take a look at the succeeding phases now. In phase 2, which is about collection and disposal, the dry waste which the residents have accumulated over the past week is collected once a week on Monday mornings. Then the contents of these 3 bags, which are collected from each household, is further segregated into more than 10 categories, like paper, cardboard, plastic wrappers, hard plastic, glass, metal, so on. We have various vendors visiting us by midday on Monday who actually pay us to take away the stuff. Obviously, some things fetch higher rates than others, but it all adds up to a tidy sum. So by mid-afternoon on Monday, we would have disposed of all the dry waste which we collected. And then we are done with phase 2 for the week. And then this gets repeated week after week after week. Okay, let's look at the third phase, composting. The focus here is the regular wet garbage which the residents have every day. So in this plant, composting plant is set up in the community, and the wet garbage collected from each household is fed into this plant. We as a community are yet to implement this phase, so I'm not going to go into details of this. To summarize, if there is one thing, just one thing I want all of you to take away from today's talk, then it's this. It's of paramount importance that we all residents collect and segregate the dry waste in our households and then find a way to dispose of the same. Coming back to where we started off, WOW stands for Wealth Out of Waste. Wealth out of waste. With the weekly payments by the vendors, our WOW account stands at over 2 lakhs, a little more, and we'll be able to set up the composting plant I talked about in phase 3. Friends, as a sign off, I want to leave you with just one question. Are you all motivated to take some steps to address the garbage crisis? Are you?
Yes.
Mr. Ghosh, Madam.